So, while I was shuffling out this spread, the words I'm hearing are star-studded, inspirational speaker, and I'm also hearing as well substantial gathering and communication that will kind of teach you a lot about, social niceties, teach you a lot about mingling, teach you a lot about the need to kind of I want to say socialize, interact, play nice, and kind of surround yourself with people so that you can learn a lot from them. Okay, so this is a very other-oriented type of a month, and I feel like for some of you, you're going into the month with a lot of reservation from your end, with a lot of like, I feel nervousness about how other people perceive you, nervousness about, do I have what it takes, doubting your skills, doubting your capabilities, doubting your ability to stand in front of a group of people and making an impression, or, being able to persuade large groups of people to come over to your side of things, or to believe in the things that you believe in. So I feel like you're coming in with excitement, but also nervousness, with trepidation, but also, with a chance to prove yourself. So this is a month where you are going to be surrounded by a lot of people, and you're going to shine. You're going to have opportunities to persuade them. You're going to be in the limelight. And so it's a very public space oriented type of a month. And depending on how extroverted or introverted, or how fixed or how stubborn or how independent you are, I feel like it can push or pull many of you in different directions. So let me first of all talk about the first thing that kind of screamed out at me when I lay the cards down. Okay, so let's talk about this, the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups deals with social niceties. It deals with mingling with other people, working well with other people, collaborating with other people, but it's a Cups energy. So this deals more with like friendships. It deals more with like social exchanges with other people, where it doesn't have to be so, heavy. It can be very superficial. It can also be very light. It could just be, mingling with other people. And I can tell right off the bat, I feel like some of you are great at this. Okay, if you like have 5 minutes to make a really good first impression, you guys got it down. You guys make really, really good first impression, and the reason for that is that many of you have a myriad of life experiences to draw from. So when you meet somebody new and they mention, oh, for example, I live in Texas, you can draw an experience from your past related to Texas, or they can say, yeah, I work in the pharmaceutical company. You're very intelligent, and you're very well read, and you're very on top of current events. So you could draw an example from your past, from pharmaceutical. And so whatever someone is throwing at you, you always have a way to kind of make that connection so that the other person feels validated, okay? However, the problem becomes when the superficial interaction lasts for too long. So, for example, if you're not able to, get at any depth to the conversation with another person, you'd rather not pursue it. You'd rather just, kind of just cast it aside. And then if you're constantly forced to socialize and mingle, and, socialize and mingle in order to establish connections, in order to network, in order to do something to benefit your job, you feel almost as if you're selling out. You feel almost as if this is, not what I signed up for, and you feel very fake, right? And so it's kind of like a double-edged sword. On the one hand, you come across as being very sociable, but on the other hand, I feel like you deep down, you do want those deep-rooted, honest, authentic connection. And this kind of like darting from one flower to the next, being that social butterfly, it's not really going to fly anymore this month. You would rather step away from all this superficiality and look for something deeper. So I do feel many of you, there's this conundrum here. This is like the person that's the life of the party, very vibrant, very well traveled, very worldly, has a myriad of life experiences, and quite independent, okay? And the people that you're encountering, they might tend to be a little bit more cliquish. You know, they have their cliques, they have their groups, they have like a fixed set of people that they hang out with on a regular basis. So trying to get your foot in the door or trying to barge in, it just feels awkward. It also feels a little bit inauthentic, and so you're going to be dealing with circumstances, social, you know, groupings, and you're going to be dealing with this, I feel, for many of you in your personal life, okay, personal social life. How do I find this group of people that I can hang out with? How do I, you know, become a part of this group? How do I get my way in? And the best strategy in life in general is not to try so hard, okay? Not to try to, no matter what they're saying, try to find every example in the book to relate to what they're saying. Life doesn't really work like that. So let things kind of organically play out. Otherwise, you're going to feel like this. You're going to feel out of place. You're going to feel vulnerable and exposed. And then you're going to start to feel like, are they judging me? Or do they feel I'm inauthentic? Am I trying too hard? Okay? So that's the first thing I want you to be a little bit careful about. And I feel for many of you, you've been all work, work, work. You've been really, really busy with work, with your personal life, family, and, you know, relationships as well. And I feel like you're kind of coming out of your shell this month, and you're trying to find that community of people that you can connect to, that you can go out with, that you can have like these more lighthearted interactions with. And the minute that you do that, I feel this automatic sense of regret. Like the minute that you step out of your, you know, your lair and you're trying to connect to other people, and you're just like, wow, I don't really have anything in common with them. I don't really have, you know, so for example, some of you have mortgage responsibilities, family that you're taking care of, and, you know, just a lot of things that are, I want to say that you would consider a little bit more serious. And then you might be hanging out with, you know, singles people that don't have the mortgage, don't have the responsibilities. And so when you're talking, their problems and your problems are like night and day, and you feel this inability to connect and to relate. And so I'm just going to say this. I feel like you're scrambling to find people that you can have the emotional connection with. And if it's not apparent right off the bat, then I just don't feel they're the right relationship for you or the right people for you. So don't force it. When the connection happens, it's going to be natural, and it should be natural. It should be instinctive. It should be intuitive. It should be, you know, felt on a very deep personal level. So don't try to fit this into, you know, this. Okay, so don't try to fit this, whatever this is, that's not working, where you feel like, I can't really connect with these people. Don't mistake that for this, because it's going to come along for you. And when it's there, you're going to feel it at the very core of your being, where you can feel exposed and vulnerable, and you feel like, oh, they're not judging me. I feel safe. So in the process of finding, you know, that group where you can belong, that that sense of belonging, that sense of, you know, I want to even say that sense of fraternity, or even the sorority. Some of you might be in college dealing with this, and, you know, you're just not feeling the people that you're around. Some of you are just in a work environment, and you're trying to find people that you can have these solid, meaningful connections with. And it's going to come into the picture for you. You have to experience this awkwardness first in order for you to appreciate when things mesh well on a soul level with another person or with a group, okay? So this, I feel, has been happening for you guys since January. So I don't know if there has been some major, new people in the work environment, in the school environment, in the internship environment, but things have been things just felt a little bit out of sync energetically, and also communication wise and emotionally. Things have been kind of like fluctuating in your life since January. The month of April was when you're praying and you're just like, please let me find that kindred spirit that I can have that connection with. And I feel for many of you, you were praying for love. You were praying for, that deep-rooted relationship. You're praying for less superficiality, and you're praying for something that is a little bit more meaningful, a little bit deeper. I'm also sensing for many of you praying for a big job here, praying for a job interview to go well, because you don't like it when you're in kind of like a panel interview and everyone's staring at you. So you could, at normal times in your life, be very, very, very confident. But when you're in a panel of people and they're sitting there shooting questions at you, and you have to, answer the questions one by one, and it can feel very nerve-wracking. And I feel like, that's normal for everybody. So there's something here that indicates to me discomfort, and it's going away. It's from January to April. It is shifting away. March might have been the time where it was like, ugh, that was really uncomfortable. And then April was when the energy died down, and now we're moving into the month of May, and everything is spectacular. So let me talk about a few things. Let me talk about your career and your work, okay? Because that is the second message coming out here. This is a card about success, and this is like very public. The spotlight is on you. You are the one thing that everyone is gravitating towards, and you're the person that everyone is kind of looking at or looking up to. So this overall basically means you're going to be really, really, really happy and satisfied, and just very lucky overall to be able to attract the people that you want, and to be able to attract the types of job and the career accolades and the recognition that you're looking for. And a lot of it has to do with kind of like easing up, okay? So first we have the Three of Cups here, and Aquarius, you are really notorious for being very like, you always have an idea of what you want, okay? And then I feel like some of you get stubborn to the point where you're just like, I want this. If I can't have this, I don't want anything else. I'd rather have this. If not, I'd rather be by myself. If I can't have it exactly like this, I'd rather not have it at all. So that mentality, you're easing up. This is a card about acceptance, okay? This is like being obstinate, wanting exactly what it is that you kind of envision, even though whatever is offered in front of you might even be better options, might even be more in alignment with you. But no, you want that specific thing, and then when you can't have that specific thing, you don't want it at all. So obstinate energy, very stubborn, very fixed, and not being able to verbalize even to yourself or to others or to the universe, why is it that you want this? And you're so fixated on it that I'm giving you all these things, and you're still not able to compromise. So in the reverse position, I feel like this stroke of luck and all these good things are coming to you guys because you are becoming a lot more appreciative. You are becoming less fixed, less rigid, less obstinate, and you're willing to kind of open yourself up and be a little bit more flexible. I can't have exactly what I want, but these options are just as good, so I'm going to make the most of it. Okay, so I feel like you're easing up. You're becoming a little bit more flexible. You're becoming overall a lot more grateful for everything that you have, that the universe has offered you, everything that's offered from other people as well. You're becoming a lot more open and a lot more, the word is mutable. mutable. So it looks really good. And the career success is coming in mainly because, once we appreciate everything that's given to us, once we actually see what's in front of us and we start to kind of think about like, life is not so bad. There are other people out there that don't have many options, but I have a lot of options. So I'm going to make the most of it. I'm going to stop moping. I'm going to stop whining, and I'm going to start, making the most and building upon these opportunities. It's not to say that you guys mope or whine. I don't feel like you guys are whiners. But a lot of the times too, and this is kind of like a fallacy with everybody, not just with you guys, but it's worse with the fixed signs like you, Taurus, Scorpio, you and Taurus in particular. Oh my gosh. So it's sort of like you want certain things to be a certain way. And a lot of it boils down to the need to control our environment and the need to kind of like take out that element of surprise. And so when things don't exactly go the way that you want, it's hard for you to switch gears because you're so mentally, personally, emotionally invested in something that it's hard for you to kind of like, stop digging in deeper and just kind of like switch gears, right? So this is the month for us to do that. This is the month for us to be flexible. And this is the month for us to, when we feel that, that wave of frustration or anger come on, when we're not getting exactly what the other person said they were going to deliver, or we're not getting exactly the results that we're looking for, we want to take a deep breath. And then we want to look at the flip side. Okay, I don't have this, but on the flip side, what do I have? I'm not offered this job, but on the flip side, what else is available? Or, for those who are dating, this person is not, giving me 100%. But on the flip side, what else is available for me? So let's, try to do that devil's advocate and just see what else is available. Keep yourself very flexible, because I feel like something's on the offing that is amazing, and you might be in danger of missing it if you're pining after things that have already been lost as well, okay? So overall, career-wise, I feel there is a major stroke of luck that's coming in for you. And I also feel as well, this deals heavily with education. So it's like mastery of something, having either higher education under your belt, having a lot of training, having a lot of life experience. Even life experience, people don't really give it as much merit as it deserves, but life experience means a lot, especially in our day and age when we are dealing more with like multicultural work settings. Having life experience and being able to relate to people from all different walks of life, it matters a great deal. And if you're able to connect with somebody on such a personal, in a personal way, it can make or break a business deal, for example. It can also make or break, how you do on an interview, right? Like if you have a panel of people and there's one person that you are able to make a really, really strong personal connection with. For example, you might have, graduated from the same university. You might have lived in the same city, and you make that really, really strong, solid connection with that person. That person can influence the whole panel to hire you. So personal connections go a long way. And I feel this is, you guys, this is always like, what I would imagine Aquarius. Mastery of many, many things. But I feel like for many of you, it's difficult to see how you can combine all of your knowledge to get you where you want to go. This is the month where I feel like it's the beginning of something. It's the beginning process where you are consolidating, putting everything together. What have I done in the past? What do I know? How is my work experience connected to my educational experience? What are my long-term goals, and how am I going to be able to get there? What can I rely on in the past to get me to, where I need to go? And so I feel like you're consolidating. You're consolidating your knowledge of the outer world. You're consolidating your knowledge of yourself. And you're trying to figure out what career path will make me happy. I also feel as well, you're trying to get yourself in a place where, how can I seek freedom? How can I, remove the chains and the blockages in my own life? How can I seek financial security and working for myself as well? So I feel like a lot of self-employment, a lot of entrepreneurial endeavors kind of brewing in the picture for many of you Aquarius. And I feel it's almost like many of you are kind of, you're looking around and you're just like, I wish I had, mentors, or I wish I had somebody that has been through it before so that I can kind of pick their brain. So I wish I had an uncle who is like an entrepreneur. I wish I had parents that were like, college graduates so that they can show me the ropes. And you're feeling a little bit envious of people that might have already, gone that route, that might have the proper mentor, that might have had the guidance. But I can assure you, Aquarius, you're not one to walk in anybody's footsteps. It's helpful, but I feel like for many of you, the fun thing is in tackling a problem, unraveling it to try to find a solution on your own. So even if you had somebody, that has already been there and you could pick their brain, the fun part of it is for you to figure things out on your own. And I can already feel like even if they're telling you, you should do this, you should do that, you're not really going to listen. So it's kind of like, in one ear, out the other. And so who cares, right? So why do we need that if we already know what we're going to do? So the only thing that's really standing in your way now is like consolidating all the knowledge, creating kind of like a strand of knowledge rather than all these, disparate things. Weave it some way into a strand so that things are connected and things are related. And once you're able to find the connectivity between different ideas, different work experiences, different things, you're going to realize that everything is all related. And that's where you're going to be able to bust yourself out of these, restrictions that you've been feeling. I feel a lot of people wanting to start a business, wanting to be self-employed, feeling really, really stuck where they are because their skills are not being acknowledged. Well, this is the month where somebody is really going to acknowledge your skill, and they're not just going to, tell you quietly, hey, you're really smart, you solved this problem that got us all stumped. I feel like there's going to be some type of a public acknowledgement of your mastery of your skills. There's also going to be a situation where I feel like you're going to be walking on stage, or you're going to be in the public eye, and you're going to be sharing your skills, your expertise with a group of people. So it could be like a training seminar, a public speaking event, like a speaking engagement, where you're getting into a public area. And I feel like, it's always uncomfortable, right? It's always nerve-wracking. But at the end of it, you're going to feel really proud of your accomplishments. And I also feel it's going to lead the way for more opportunities, for future engagement, for, other opportunities to be coming into the picture as well. And that's what's really going to help jumpstart your career. It's not just the main job that you're doing. It's all the other side jobs. It's all the other opportunities that you're taking to enhance your visibility in the work environment, in your professional life. So it's not just about, networking. Networking is all like intangible, right? Like it's all these connections that we have and knowing the right people and, being seen with the right people. But no. And I feel like deep down you know this. These are very superficial. Why don't we instead go out and get things done? Leading a group of people, doing a public speaking event, educating the public, showing people what we know and showing people how much we know. These are a little bit more concrete and tangible and measurable. So the whole time you were just like iffy about this, but you're iffy about it for the right reason, because you know that there is substantially a lot more out there that can be had if you take the actions rather than relying on the connections, right? So Aquarius, this month is going to be very good for you. I was going to do, you know, just like a career work oriented type of a reading, but I feel like there's a lot of love messages that are coming through. Okay, so let me just, oh wow, okay, so let me just talk a little bit about this because it is coming out. Okay, so first of all, let me clear this out of the way. We have here a definite love connection. And I feel as if it is linked up here in the work environment, okay? So for many of you, we have here a water sign. So this is a Pisces, a Cancer, or a Scorpio. This is somebody that really respects your independence, okay? They see you as someone who's inspiring. They see you as someone who's childlike, but not in a, you know, patronizing way. They like your creativity, they like your independence, and you kind of light up their world when they're with you. Water signs tend to be a little bit more depressive. They need other people, and then when they're around downers, they can be very depressed and down. When they're around people who are inspiring, they can feel very inspired and very motivated. So water signs that you're dealing with in general is like this. Someone who's a little bit on the shyer end, a little bit more methodical, slow to act, very shy, and uncertain, okay? So I feel like they really like you, and they sense as well that you're like the breath of fresh air in their lives. So for those of you who are dating, I feel like you have a water sign who felt very, very stuck in their lives. You know, they might have been in a bad relationship for a really, 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 really long time. And they might have like not dated for a really, 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 really long time. And they're trying to look for opportunities to bust out. And then when they see you, you're like this. You're like, you know, nonchalant, you're happy, you're optimistic, and you're independent. And you're financially very well off. You don't need them to take care of you. They love this energy, and I feel like they feel very inspired by you. And so I feel as if there's a big relationship offer for you, and this person is very slow. Take it very, very slowly with this person. They recently got out of something that might not have been very good. Okay, and they're trying to find their bearing, and they really like you. So they're going to make an offer. They're coming towards you. So the natural inclination is, you know, I'm getting what I want, speed up, but I feel like you need to slow down. You need to make sure that, you know, that you are really sure about how you feel about this person. So I feel singles, there's a love offer coming. I also feel as well, if you're dealing with someone, there's somebody in your work environment that likes you. Okay, so you might even have multiple offers. And I also feel like for Aquarius, there might have been a dry spell. There might have been a you know, like a situation where it's like you felt uncomfortable in your own skin, uncomfortable in your body, body image issues, weight issues, and things like that. And you're like, no one is attracted to me, or no one is really going to approach me. And then it happens in the month of May, and you're just like, and it's not just one person. There might be multiple people as well, multiple offers that are available for you. Okay, so the other person that I was feeling as well, and I pulled out these cards, I feel like there's somebody that is a little bit like a authoritarian figure, you know, like older, wiser, someone who's a little bit of a stick in the mud. They don't really, they're a little bit more traditional. They're a little bit more like I feel like they're a stick in the mud, and because you're so independent, they're naturally very drawn to you, right? But they won't show it. They won't show it. So I feel like there's this person here, very intelligent, really, really intelligent person. And I feel like there are some communication barriers between the two of you. I also feel as if the timing is a little weird, right? It's like they're coming towards you and you're distracted with other things. So some of you could be in a relationship here with a water sign. So you have a water sign, a Pisces, a Cancer, a Scorpio, and you're preoccupied with this relationship. But this relationship is proving to be a little bit restrictive. And then you have another person, possibly a fire sign, Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo, coming towards you, or at least another person that is very passionate and excited and things like that. But it seems like they're showing their interest multiple times, and you were either distracted or you were looking another way, and you didn't really see all the effort that they put in. And then now it's like, you know, once burned, twice shy. Now they're like, I'm not putting in the effort anymore. I'm done. So be appreciative of what's coming in your life. And I wish I could also tell you guys as well, you know, be a little bit more observant. I feel like most of you are very intuitive, but I'm also sensing that, you know, when it comes to the emotions, many of you can be a little bit underdeveloped, okay? So let me give you an example. Let me make this example like kind of relevant, because I know what it's like to be an Aquarius, where you're kind of like paying attention to the wrong things, or something is like right in front of you, but you have no idea. So let's just say, okay, you have a friend, and the friend is like the friend, let's say you're a female and you're a heterosexual female and you have a male friend. And every time you're like, hey, let's go eat lunch, the male friend is always there. And then every time, you know, you had a bad day, the male friend is always there to listen to your vent sesh. Like the male friend's always there. And then all of a sudden you decide to move to a different city and you tell your male friend, and the male friend was all like, I've always, you know, had feelings for you. And you're just like, oh, I had no idea. Why didn't you tell me sooner? So think about how their actions, you know, kind of like how their actions have shown you time and time again how they feel about you. And I feel like some of you forget these things. Some of you don't really give it enough credit, or some of you, because you think like, oh, they're already in the friend zone, you don't really see them as possible suitors. So I see opportunities like that coming in where you have a friendship with somebody and they like you, and you have another person that you're in a relationship with, and the relationship might feel a little bit rocky. It might feel a little bit restrictive, and the male friend, or you know, whoever your friend is, there's attraction. They're coming towards you, but you're kind of not looking in the right direction, okay? Or you're not like aware of it. So appreciate the people that are around you, Aquarius. Even if you don't reciprocate their feelings, at least tell them, I'm very flattered, you know, thank you, but no thank you, but I'm very flattered, or I really appreciate you being there for me. So telling somebody that and softening up and, you know, allowing them to feel like all their efforts were not in vain, that you appreciate their efforts, that you care about them as a person, so that, you know, you can validate their feelings. It goes a long way. So no matter what, you have a really, I feel like the answer here is yes. Okay, so you've got like a yes card here. So if you're wondering, you know, is my career going to take off? Does that person like me? Does that person care about me? It's all yes. But I also feel there's a situation here where someone is like, I've tried to show you how I feel. I've tried, and you keep turning me down, or you never took it seriously, or, you know, you just blocked me, and they're trying to reach out to you, and they're just like, okay, I'm done. You keep overlooking it, or you don't acknowledge it, and they're like, I'm done. So they're a little bit, they're a little bit kind of steeled up. Okay, so if you're dealing with a fire sign that is like that, I feel like it's the end of a line. It's the end of the line here for that situation if it's a fire sign. But you have somebody that you really like here, super intelligent, very, very intelligent, a great speaker, a great orator, a great teacher, and you should definitely nurture that relationship. But I feel as if there's a lot at stake here. With the Ten of Swords, it's kind of like a situation can go both ways, okay? It's somebody that could be in your professional life. It's also somebody that you find very invigorating, very in sync with, and very inspiring to be around, if that's the case. And, you know, you might want to be careful about making it from a professional relationship into a love relationship. So you want to be careful about the transition here, okay? So I hope the reading has been helpful for you guys. I do wish you all the best, okay?